Hey guys, this is the first installment of the Off the Racks show. Right now, sitting with me is the man, the myth, 11, legend, Yawkow Banks.
Yes,
Got you.
sir.
Designer, creative director, creator of the brand Before Common Era. And, I met up with him at Atlanta Streetwear Market. Shout out to them. Had a lot of
Yeah.
dope brands down in Atlanta for a couple of days. And I went by this man's booth, and he had a whole presentation. He had videos. He had I think there was a fog machine in there, so he had a whole
Not the foggy shit.
presentation. He had a whole presentation with everything, and it really felt like you were transported to 20 something in Blade Runner, but it was definitely something really
Mm.
unique, and it really stuck out to me and the people I was there with, and he is now here today. So introduce us, give us a little bit about yourself to the people real quick.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? I'm Yawkow Banks, one of the owners and creative directors of Before Common Era. Shout out to Chris Peoples as well, the owner of Streetwear Market, for allowing us to, of course, use the space. And all the energy that was in there was dope, and all the brands that participated were dope as well. But of course, you know what I'm saying? I started Before Common Era in 2018. 2018 was trying to bring something different to the table, as in creative wise. I like to say that I'm a nerd. I love sci-fi, and technology, and I love fashion as well. So my whole goal was to merge both into both loves into one thing, and that's what BCE is.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely tell. You can definitely see the sci-fi. For sure, you can tell the sci-fi incorporated into the fashion, to your fashion concepts.
Yeah.
First things first for me to you. Was fashion really the first thing? Was that the first and only thing you gravitated towards? Was there more, or was it just fashion? That's it. That's I know for a fact this is what I'm doing. That's what we're doing.
So I would say fashion was first. Fashion was one of my first loves when it comes to inspiration. I found a lot of inspiration when I started, exploring a little bit on Tumblr, and following, get a little bit into the
Mm,
culture of music. So of course, music and fashion tie hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? So that was where my love first came for fashion. But as I got into the love of fashion, I just found out that I love to create. Period. So it's to the space where I'm in now is where I love interior design. I love architecture. So I study all these types of form of creation, and I apply that to fashion.
yeah. I mean, you can tell, like everything he's saying,
I appreciate it.
you can definitely tell, what he's saying isn't just it's not factor cap. You go to the Instagram, you go to BCE's IG, you can definitely tell the detail that they have with their things. So and then going over what kind of what area would you say it is? Would you think, do you want to be streetwear? Is it more high fashion? Is it a mixture of both? I think what would you kind of put? What box would you put in, or is there even a box? Is there
Yeah.
just no box?
Um, I don't think it's a box, but if he was to put it in a box, I would say avant-garde, as in brands and pieces like a cold wall with Samuel Ross. That's the route that I would like to be in the same conversation as when it comes to BCE. So you can put it in the avant-garde space with the high, little bit of mix of high fashion. Then of course street fashion is I think the start, the hub of what I'm doing. Where Stussy and hundreds and the canvas being a regular T-shirt. I think brands like that are kind of like the forefounders of streetwear. And then of course you got Virgil with Off White, who kind of blended streetwear and fashion together. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of Virgil's one of the inspirations as well. So I'm probably in that space of conversation.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because now I think when we look at streetwear, it's definitely in the scope of it. Used to be distillative, you rip jeans is streetwear, high fashion is
Right.
runway, and now it's you have Dior with Travis Scott, you
It's the
have
same thing.
Balenciaga got a ripped jean, it's something of this blended, like you said, avant garde type space, And yeah, I mean, I would categorize that there too.
Yeah.
It's definitely different because the thing is, your brand has t-shirt. Like I went to I'm a nerd and I'm a fashion nerd, so I have to go all the way to the bottom with every brand I love. I have to go to like the first post, and then you go from the first post to like the most recent, and you kind of see that
Mm.
growth. And so you can tell that when everyone starts a brand, it's always like first is t-shirts and hoodies. Like those most
Yeah.
two basic things.
That's it's the easiest
It's the
canvas, bro.
easiest thing
Like,
you can do
you want to start a brand. Like, okay, you got a great design, man. Throw that shit on
on
a t-shirt
t-shirt,
or a hoodie,
hoodie.
bro. Like, some
Yeah,
people start off with more intricate pieces. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They have a great starting foundation. But for us regular people, the
It's
t-shirt and
it's
canvas,
the
the t-shirt
gilded,
canvas
it's the
is
gilded, it's a
gilding,
t-shirt.
John. Like, you just
You
screen
already
print. You
know.
find a homie that got a screen printer. You find,
You
you know
go
what I'm saying, or a screen
crazy.
printer in your local city, and
Hmm.
put that shit on a canvas, bro. And you allow the canvas to be presented in a way. You build the aesthetic behind it, and you just put it out there and
Build
see what
from
people
there.
like about it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually I saw the growth because I saw like the first couple t-shirts and the first couple hoodies and the first designs, and so to see those and to see
Mm-hmm.
going up, and you see like I think the sweater you guys have that I saw personally at Atlanta Streetwear
Mm.
Market, which was fire with the red collar, the hand.
Yeah.
You can really tell that not only the quality, but like you said, the foundation was there, and you kind of build upon that, and it just took it to a different level with like that
Right.
sweater. So do you feel like for your brand, it's like not only is only up, but like as you keep growing, it's gonna be more like more cut and sew, and kind of you won't fade away from the hoodies and the t-shirts. That's always gonna be
Mm.
there. But do you think you're gonna get to the point of like more cut and sew, more sweaters, possibly cardigans? You have the sunglasses that are crazy. If you didn't know,
I,
guys, you can pop. You can pop. He has to explain the glasses,
yeah,
but the glasses are
I feel
crazy.
that.
The glasses
Yeah.
are
So
crazy.
I appreciate that, real talk. And like you said, as I feel like once you scroll all the way down to the bottom of a person's IG, even personal IGs, you can just see the growth. I like to do that myself for artists, like graphic designers or people who paint.
Yeah,
Like, scroll all the way to down to the bottom and actually see like their growth and see how they started and the pieces and what they went through in life, basically because Instagram is a story. You know what I'm saying? It's a storyboard.
yeah,
But I agree. Once, of course, as we grow, more pieces will be more detailed. Even the hoodies will be more detailed. Even the t-shirts will be more
yeah.
detailed. Everything will just be more detailed because we're learning, we're growing, and we're finding, what I'm saying, inspiration through different things and allowing ourselves to put it on a more specified canvas.
Hmm. For sure. And Off the Racks is a show where I want this to be a space to where I can go and meet and highlight these brands and these designers that are underground and not so known and bubbling, kind of get to the bubble before it bursts. And
Mm,
I only handpicked a few designers to talk to just because I could tell like get like in a sense like a scout, like NBA scout. Like
right.
you can tell in a couple years, okay, cool, you're gonna see an NBA player wear this because you can kind of see that. And so with your brand, it definitely has a foundation, and it's still pretty early. It was like you said, what 2018? Like it's still
28
fairly new.
2018 was the start of it, and we didn't release until December 2019, right? So 2018 is like where you're building everything on paper. You're going through samples. You're trying to figure out that perfect aesthetic, the foundation of it. But we didn't release till 2019 of December, so it's about a year and a half now, bro. So we're still babies in the game, but
Yeah.
it's a beautiful process.
Yeah. And so it being still such a baby, such like I know you. I think how do you handle? I want to say the criticism or that. How do you handle that the critiques? Because it's still such a baby. It is your baby. Where it's like, yo, I've made this. It's still fairly new. Like, how do you kind of handle people critiquing? Like, oh, I don't really like that. I don't like the way that looks. If any critiques at all. But
Yeah,
like how kind of do you hand as a designer, an artist? How do you kind of handle that being an underground artist or underground designer?
yeah. I think the way you handle it is the way you look at um, people who are already at that level that you want to reach. Like, say for example, if Virgil drops something on hypebeast.com, you're gonna see the haters, you're gonna see the lovers, you're gonna see the
Yeah.
wishy washies. Like, it's all there. Like, nobody. I'm designing for others, and I'm designing for myself as well. But I'm not designing for everybody. So everybody's opinion isn't, is their own opinion. So I don't try to kind of take too much light on other people's opinion. What I do is when I'm in the process of creating, when I get the samples back, I do have a great group of friends who are well knowledgeable in the art of creation, right? So what I'll do is I'll grab these samples and we all just have a powwow at the crib. And we all critique this one piece. Like we'll have, drinks, everybody's vibing, but the whole point is to critique this piece. And that's when I'm pretty much open to any open criticism from the team, and everybody has their own opinion. Of course, it's my choice to finalize and to say, okay, yeah, he did say something. That was a great suggestion, or et cetera, et cetera. But that's when my mind is pretty much open to the critiques. But other than that, once it's out, that's the final product. It can't be switched. Now I'm on to the next piece or the next color variation. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's pretty much it.
If you don't, you don't. There's another drop, and you probably gonna like something in that
exactly.
drop.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everything you said, the drops and critique, it's all there. It's all solid because at the end of the day, you're making art, and it's not gonna be interpreted by everybody. Like even Virgil with the 50 dunks, like everyone is like, why 50 dunks? But there's some, like you said, there's some people that hate it, and there's some people that love it. And in this space, in the fashion sense, you're not gonna really appease everybody. So
right,
for sure.
And some people don't even like it until they see it on somebody else. They don't like it until
that's really
you see somebody really wearing it for real.
Or unless you see it in person. Or unless you see it in person.
Now, then it's like, really?
Because I was never a big fan of like the Jordan 14s until I actually saw like the Ferrari 14s like in person. I was like, yo, okay, these. I think I kind of got sold on these because they now look really good. So yeah,
and that's why the pop-up experience is kind of like one of my favorite experiences when it comes to fashion. Like I like people to touch and feel the fabric and try it on. You know what I'm saying? Like I put it on and see how it fits on you and how it's tailored to your body. Then you can make that final critique. But based off the internet, all we see is pictures and things of that nature. But once you feel it and put it on, and then that's when I feel like you can make that real connection with the clothing.
And also like an experience. I think at Atlanta Streetwear Market, something that was really unique was each booth was different, and each booth gave you an experience. Some people just had like a table with their stuff on it, which is fine. Some people had tapestry. Some people had like their clothing. And then like your booth, you actually had a room. And the thing is, you go into the room, and again, it was like, is this experience? And so not only like for me, it seems like not only that you're selling clothes and just pieces, but you're also selling an experience. An experience that I've seen with a lot of different brands that are now being worn, by all these NBA players, whatever. You're selling an experience. You're selling more than just clothes. And I think that's what kind of separates certain brands from like, this is a cool brand, we wear, this is cool. And then it separates, like you said, like the all cold wall, or it separates those like Off-White. Like Off-White, those brands, they sell an experience. Rude is an amazing. I love Rude. They sell an experience. Every drop. It's like this past fashion show. It was like Monaco based, so it was like playing cards, cigars, the chip. It's selling an experience. And again, what stuck out for your brand to me was you're selling an experience. Before Common Era is selling like this Blade, like you said, sci-fi fashion mix, but also it seems like the future of fashion, in the sense of like how fashion has like trend, like kind of changed over the years of like, back in 2012 where people had the Cookie Monster snapbacks and those motorbiker jeans, the Rue 21 shirts.
I know you remember the damn, this was my I hated this trend. It was the emoji sweaters, like the emoji that had all the emojis, like the jumpsuit.
Those dudes are in jail now. They're in jail right now. The dudes who wore those full sweatsuits are in jail right now because ain't no way you bought that. You're like, yo. But see,
that was horrible.
But see, you can tell like the mainstream fashion. We went from emoji sweatpants to now people are wearing workwear and going backwards into like Carhartt, and people now finding with the blessing of TikTok and more social media, people are like, okay, now I can really experiment with what I want to wear. And so for
Exactly.
your brand, before Common Era, do you feel like your brand is like somewhat of what the future may look like for fashion? Like Kanye West already has like the more simplistic, plain, not plain, but simplistic, the simplicity, like earth tone fashion. But for your
Mm-hmm.
brand, is it more like that? It's like the future is ahead of its time. Do you feel like your brand is somewhat ahead of the curve before the curve even gets there?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so, and not even only in the pieces itself, but in the presentation, and then of course what we're trying to work with, right? With like augmented reality, virtual reality, NFTs, right? I feel like that's where fashion is going. Not only the pieces, but the platform, and transforming and being ahead of the curve before the curve hits is the key, because now it's like, okay, he was one of the originators in it. He was ahead of his time. And now instead of us playing catch up, we're already in that space. And now other people are trying to, work with NFTs and da da da.
Oh
But we've
man,
already established that
you've been
foundation,
there,
right? And
yeah.
one of those, I think that's one of those things where you want to be there before it starts, before it even pops off too crazy, because once it pops off, and then it's going to be hard to kind of tap in.
Catch
It's
up,
all going to look the same.
yeah.
So even of course, the pieces are the way they're constructed is meant for um, longevity and futuristic terms. But of course, I believe the presentation and the platform is so important to me.
Yeah, and I think when we talk about before the curves, you look at Jerry Lorenzo with Fear of God, like the zipper pants, like that was something that
Before the
no
curve,
one thought about until he was like, let me kind of put zippers on these pants, this like cargo pants, and then once you saw it at Forever 21, you saw it in H&M,
oh
different
yeah, yeah,
brands were like,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
make different,
You don't mass
so
produce that.
let's mass produce this thing that you set the trend. So you're in some ways on the right side of fashion history, being before the curve and really
Mm.
being creative to the extent of like, let me not only sell, like I said, not sell clothes but sell an experience. And that is something that you don't see that often,
Mm.
because at Atlanta Streetwear Market there were a lot of brands that had experience, and there were a lot of brands that were, you could tell, and there's no shade, it's no shade, it's all constructive
Yeah,
criticism, but you could tell it was kind of like not that they didn't care about it, because everyone cares about their work, but it wasn't like an experience. You could tell like it was just like you said, a carbon copy of like, oh, let me just do this t-shirt, let me just do this hoodie, and it wasn't an experience. But like, I know it was you, I think it was like Lemons on Fire, there was one booth and they had like Air Force Ones and like potting plants, and so like
ooh, that's crazy.
again people like selling an experience, and I think that's really what differentiates like the tiers of like the creativity. So so
I agree.
your brand definitely did that. Um
I appreciate it, bro.
I will forever continue to say that. I think people are gonna get tired of me saying, but no, like the
No,
stuff
it's real. It's real. It's
but
real.
it's honest though. You're selling an experience, and I will forever stand on that, because people, I feel like nowadays people are more into buying pieces than going to Forever 21 and just picking up whatever. Because even for me, like
Exactly.
I got rid of all my wardrobe. I just went to an artisan market. I picked up like two pairs of Carhartt, cargo pants and jeans for $20. So it's just like
I had on some Carhartt yesterday, bro. Come on.
Carhartt, bro. I'm telling you, they're all black, had a little ashiness to it. I go take them to my tailor.
I
She
love it.
sews
I
them up
love it.
for me. But now people are into pieces now. And I
Yeah,
think the
exactly.
name of the game now is making pieces. And a statement piece so far is that sweater. To me, that sweater
Yeah,
will always stick out. Like
I appreciate it.
that's a really big statement piece, because it's bold. It makes people like actually like, okay. You have to look at it again and be like, oh,
And
okay, and even
again and again, and you got, because I with that piece, that was an idea that I had in 2018 when I was actually curating and designing the brand, and it just felt everything felt so perfect to design it. The
mm,
color, the material of it, the color of the collar matches the color of the actual
mm.
design itself. Like, everything was meant for you to double take.
Look,
Like
yeah.
it was meant. It was that's one of my favorite pieces as well. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna, as a creator, it's like, damn, can I top this piece? Like, can
Yeah.
I top this piece, but I believe I can. But of course, that's one of my favorite pieces, of course, for sure.
He had a Bryson Tiller moment. He came out
Yeah.
too hot. He came out too hot. I was like, yo, can I really
like,
top this one again? Jesus, can I really
Man.
do this again? Yeah, I think what is that process like for you? Like, what goes to your head with them? Like, you have a smash with like a really good statement piece. Like, what is the process now where it's like, man, like, can I really top this again? Or like, what am I gonna do? Like, how does that kind of work for you in your head?
Yeah. Of course, I mean, you just got to keep going. Like, I know you can let the thoughts get to your head, or but you got to keep going. I feel like once the foundation is there of the brand, I feel like it's easy to build upon. So I would say the ideas don't come as hard as they used to. They're at a flowing state now where if I get an idea, I write it down. And that idea might not be implemented in the brand until like another year, but I'm always just writing down. It's me and also, of course, my creative director, Soy. We get together and we think of creative concepts of things that we want to put out. And the things that we're dropping this year are ideas that we had last year, right?
Yeah.
It's just refining and making that perfect piece until it's that pop out piece, right? And I think with pop out pieces is mainly the construction and also the color combinations, like what colors complement each other and can make that double take action happen, right? So that's what we're in the process of doing right now. I'm extremely excited for our fall/winter selection. I think that the curation of how I drop is I do it piece by piece, right? So each piece has its special drop. Of course, the goal is to have a capsule.
Yeah.
A large collection. I got 15 pieces.
Yeah.
Here y'all go. But the way I like to do it is each piece has their own marketing section, right? So say for the sweater, like I dropped a sweater, but the sweater had its own visuals, its own photo shoots specifically designed for the sweater. Then the sunglasses, the piece was focused, the brand was focused on the sunglasses and how we could, create this aesthetic and bring to the table what people want to see and how I would like to present the glasses. And then we're working on the next piece and the next piece, but each piece has its own time to shine, which allows us to capitalize off of, people's attention spans are so short nowadays, right? So
yeah.
And with fashion being such a big, crowded industry, is like I want to hone in on each product so each product gets their deserved time and attention, and then we work on the next. So this upcoming product is the BCE Tiger Commando stack pants. I'm extremely excited about that. And so those are coming real soon, bro.
Got you. Yeah, no, the pieces. And it's really interesting that, like, it's like you said, it's a piece by piece basis. It's not just there's a whole like a whole fall winter collection. It's more like I'm gonna give you a piece. I'm gonna let you have that. It has its own thing. And then this sweater, I'm gonna give you that. That has its own thing. But it's all all still collective. Like that's the thing. It's all still, collective under the same umbrella. So you said you have the Tiger pants coming up. What can we expect in the fall winter moving into next year? Because fashion's always fast. You do fall winter now.
Yeah.
You're already thinking about spring summer in the next couple months.
Exactly.
So what is next, and what is the future you like? What are the future pieces, dream pieces, things that you would want to do for BCE?
Yeah, so I'm highly inspired by techwear, right? Actual functional pieces, right? So that's kind of like what the glasses were. Yes, indeed, they look amazing, right? But they're actually functional. Like people wear them when they're riding their bike or on a just running or doing all types of activities because they actually shade your eyes at a great comfort level, right? And then of course, I know you spoke on it briefly, but you're able to pop out the lens and switch out the lens that come with from the sport UV lens to the standard black lens. And that's actually functional to people. Like then it comes with the strap where you're actually able to tie it around your head so that if you're moving around, you have access to stability with the glasses, right? So moving into tech wear, actual functional pieces, is where I want the brand to go, as in pieces wise. So that we're looking forward to that, and of course the next year. Well, even with all the pieces, but real tech wear pieces are coming. Probably aiming towards the fall of 2022 for sure.
Okay, cool. So he already had, like he said, the designs now were from last year, and this year gonna be next year. He said, "I'm always one step ahead of you."
The process.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you gotta in fashion, you gotta be steps ahead. So in the fall, in the winter, you're working on the summer stuff, and then of course in the winter, in the summer, you're working on the winter stuff, right? So it's just a whole cycle. You just gotta be on top of things. You know,
always ahead of the curve. Always gotta be ahead of it. Okay, so BCE, we talked about everything. We talked about the brand. We talked about everything. You know, before we're gonna kind of wind down the interview because I know you're a busy dude. We ask every interviewee kind of the same question. When you hear the words true urban culture, what are the first kind of things that are synonymous with that? What kind of like, okay, that's what that means to me.
True urban culture?
Yeah.
I feel that's the heart, the hub, right? I feel like everything starts from true urban culture and then it expands. So if we're talking about what we talked about earlier with streetwear, that started from the true urban culture, like Supreme, right? They started as a collective of people who just love skating. That's the true urban culture, and then expanded how it expanded because they created a cult-like community where it's like, we are rocking Supreme. This is it. And we're doing fire skate tricks with Supreme on, right? But that's what caught people's attention. They saw the Super 8 film cameras with people doing these cool skate tricks and with the Supreme on, and that's true urban culture, right? That's where it starts from the hub, and then it expands everywhere else. So that's what I get from that for sure.
All right, respect. So we're gonna get up out of here real quick, but plug your socials. Where is BCE located? Where, like, you know, plug your socials, plug everything. Next pop-up shops.
Yeah, for sure. So BCE can be found on Instagram at bce.official. The website is beforecommonera.com. My personal IG is Yawkow Banks, YAWKOW Banks. My creative director's Instagram is Deadman Soy. And then what else? Yawkow Banks on Twitter as well. And then I just started a TikTok.
Hey, you gotta hop on the wave. You gotta hop on the wave. You gotta hop on the wave real quick.
I caved in. That's where the community is. So I'm on where the community is. I'm on TikTok as well. Yawkow Banks. So all the socials are the same for me. BC.official on Instagram for sure.
Yeah, and Detroit support, man. Detroit stand up. I wore my Tigers
hat. You know it.
I wore my Tigers hat. He was like, he had the G check me real quick. He's like, hey, bro, you from the D? I'm like, wait. I'm from Atlanta. I just love the Tigers.
You know, I get excited.
He had the.
Somebody went Detroit hat. I get excited. Like, yo, man. Where you from?
Hey, but he said you from the D. I'm like, wait, chill. I don't want no smoke. I love the Tigers.
I just like the hat.
I just like the hat. Oh God, I just like the hat. I want no smoke.
That's like me rocking the LA hat. Like, I just like the hat.
Sure.
It looks good on me, you know?
But nah, Detroit show love, man. Detroit stand up. You got to get a piece of Big Sean. That's real Detroit love.
Oh yeah, of course. I gotta get look. The Detroit's rap scene right now is going crazy. Babyface Ray. You got 42 Doug. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to tap in. I actually want to take a trip up there within the next this year, so I can do a shoot up there and plug in with them for sure.
Oh, for sure. Nah, Big Sean. We gotta get Big Sean on here. Big Sean. You gotta wear one of them sweaters, man.
Yeah, come on now.
We gotta get you in a sweater, man. Sean Dog.
And of course, I'll be back at the Atlanta Streetwear Market for the fall with all the fall pieces and winter pieces. So tap in. We're gonna go crazy. Any additional events could be found on the BCE Instagram for sure.
Hey man, he said we spin the block one more time. He said,
we
spin the block.
Yeah, running back. Chris hit me. He was like, send me your looking eyes emojis, and I sent them right back. We already knew what time it was. So we back at it. Same booth, same room. And we're gonna make it happen.
All right, cool, man. Y'all heard it here first. This was Off the Racks, the first inaugural episode, the one, the only. Yawkow Banks did his thing. BCE.
Appreciate you, bro.
Give it a couple years, man. This brand, I can see it. I see it, man. I'm before the wave, man. I told you I'm before the wave.
Look, you said it first.
I said it first. I told you, but appreciate you. Thank you. We're gonna get you a
honor, bro. I appreciate you for allowing me on your show, bro. Appreciate it.
Hey, no, man, no problem. Appreciate you.